And we draw the land. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is just lethal. Yeah, that's going to be easily lethal, right? So we'll go get the mountain, float 3 red, cast Devastating Summons. Oh my god. Sacrificing all 3 lands. This is why I love playing Devastating Summons. Select. Surge. And yeah, our opponent is easily dead here. How much do we hit them for? Down to -7. See, there you go. That is how you kill someone on turn 3 with a zoo deck. Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Smurfy and today we are playing Bushwhacker Zoo in Modern. So in my Domain Zoo video, I had Loki MTG comment on my video just saying that they were considering playing a zoo list, potentially even Bushwhacker Zoo. So I said to them, you know, I could do a league with it and show you how the deck works and everything like that, or if you just want to see some more gameplay if you already know how it works. And they said they'd love to see it, so this one is for you, Loki. How the deck works, if you are not familiar with Bushwhacker Zoo, is you play a bunch of 1-drops and then you play Burning Tree Emissary, which when it comes into play makes 2 mana, or Hidden Herbalist, which has also the ability to make 2 mana. You use that mana that they generate, and then you then play a creature that gives them haste in the same turn. So Bushwhacker is 2 mana if you surge it, so as long as you played a card that turn, you can pay 1 colourless and 1 red to surge it, and when you surge it, it's a 2 mana 2/1 with haste that gives all of your other creatures haste and +1/+0. So if you play, say, I don't know, a Hidden Herbalist, trigger Revolt, you get 2 mana. You can then use that mana to cast a Burning Tree. That gives you a red and a green mana. You can then surge that into a Bushwhacker, and now you're attacking for 3, 6, 7, 8 on turn 2, and that's assuming you haven't even played a 1-drop. Some other nice combination of cards. We are playing Steppe Lynx, which has landfall. Whenever a land comes into play, it gets +2/+0. As well as Akoum Hellhound, which is exactly the same thing, but a red version. So you play this on turn 1. Turn 2, you play a fetch land, you crack it, you get a shock land. These are now 4 power 1-drops. So these things become absolutely huge really, really quickly. So the idea is that this deck is basically you try and kill your opponent on turn 2 or 3, and if you don't, you just hope that you can finish them off with whatever you've got left, because the deck is ridiculously explosive. You can literally kill people on turn 2 or turn 3, but once it gets past that, you have very, very little way to close out games. We've got a little bit of spice in the deck today. We're playing one of my favourite cards for this list, which is Devastating Summons. 1 red mana, sacrifice a land, or sacrifice as many lands as you want. You make 2 creature tokens equal to power and toughness equal to how many lands you sacked. So the idea is on turn 3, you float 3 mana with your 3 lands. You cast Devastating Summons, sacrificing all 3. So you make 2 3/3 tokens. You then use the remaining 2 mana to cast one of the Bushwhackers, give them haste, and you can just swing for a damage. We're playing 2 because this card is really, really powerful. If you get to turn 3 and you can play this into a Bushwhacker, generally you will kill your opponent. If not, you've got enough power left over that you'll probably kill them the next turn. We're playing 3 Atarka's Command, just a really good damage spell. Pumps up your guys, deals 3 to your opponent. Great card. We're also playing 4 mana Morphos. The reason you play this is because you have all these mana producing creatures on your 2-drops, but they don't cast Goblin Bushwhacker, and the Herbalist also can't cast Reckless Bushwhacker. So you do have to be a little bit tactical of how you use your mana, and Mana Morphos is basically allowing you to curve your 2-drops into your Bushwhackers a lot more seamlessly. It also means you can sometimes use Mana Morphos to use these 2-drops to make things like white mana for your Steppe Lynx and that kind of stuff. We're also playing 3 Ragavan because I'm not buying them in real life for this list, but I will happily play them on Arena, on Magic Online. It's fine, it's Ragavan. You know, if you get bolts and stuff off it, that's great. If you can get mana off it, you can do some ridiculous plays later on. But anyway, and the sideboard, we're playing 4 Leyline of the Void, just to interrupt any sort of shenanigans with graveyard decks, and 4 Veil of Summer for counter magic and removal. But other than that, we're not actually playing a full 15 card sideboard. Sounds really, really dumb, and it is, but the reason is you just can't sideboard with this deck. Like there's very, very few cards in this list which you can actually cut and still leave it like a reasonably functioning deck. I played it in a 4-round event of just like an FNM, and I think I sideboarded once, and then the rest of the time, even when I was against like an affinity deck, you can't afford to take out your creatures to replace them with Artifact Hate. You just have to try and race them. So I actually don't think you really need to worry about sideboard. genuinely, I just don't think it's particularly optimal to board in any cards. They don't tend to fit. So you can build a sideboard if you want, but I don't think it's going to improve your win rate very much, if any at all. Other than that, we're playing a bunch of lands. Pretty much all of them are fetch lands because we need them for our landfall creatures. So that is the list. Let's get into some games. Okay, so round one. This is probably going to be a pretty quick league just because of how fast the deck is at winning and losing. We definitely want to go first. What have we got in our opening hand? Oh, this hand is sick. So we've got turn 1 Step Links, turn 2 Burning Tree into Bushwhacker, and then next turn if we draw another land we can go land Goblin Guide into another Bushwhacker. This hand is sick. So we'll lead off with a Sacred Foundry, I think, first. Yeah, we'll get Sacred Foundry first. We'll go ahead and play our Step Links here. So next turn that creature's going to be attacking for 5. So you play the Arid Mesa, goes up to a 2/3, crack the Arid Mesa, the land comes in, it becomes a 4/3, and then we Surge the Bushwhacker. So yeah, you're going to be attacking for 5 on turn 2 with just the Step Links alone. Opponent plays Arboreal Grazer and plays a Urzatron, no not Urzatron, Urza Saga. Straight back to us, and we drew the land, so our turn 3 is going to be really good as well. So we'll play the Arid Mesa, crack that, and does it matter what we get? I don't think so. Yeah, it does. We can't get the Temple Garden because we want to play triple red. So we'll have to get the Stomping Ground, and then next time we'll have to get the Mountain. So we'll pay 2 mana, play the Burning Tree, get 2 more mana, and we will Surge this Bushwhacker. And now we're attacking for 10 on turn 2. So they're probably going to block the Bushwhacker this turn, I'd expect, to keep it alive and block again next turn. I mean, they can block the 5 if they want, but then they don't get a block next turn, so I'm not sure what they want to do here. I think you're better off keeping your Grazer alive, because if you can block 2 damage this time and then 2 damage next time, that's 4. But you still have the Grazer around again. Okay, they just straight away thrown it away. No problem. Our opponent's going to take 5 here, down to 15. And then next turn we can just play Goblin Guide into Bushwhacker and just go completely pretty nuts, actually. Opponent goes Besiege You into Dryad. Sure. So they can play another land this turn, which I assume they're going to do, unless they don't have any more lands. Yeah, they're going to play the Chamber. Okay, so they're going to bounce a land here. I assume they are Amulet Titan, because that's pretty much the only deck that plays this combination of cards. Oh, we didn't want to draw another Mesa, that's not ideal. So we'll go ahead, fetch a Mountain, because again, we need the triple red. We'll play the Goblin Guide, and we will kick this. Again, they're going to be able to block and probably kill one of our creatures here, but that's absolutely fine. We're attacking for so much, putting our opponent on a huge clock here. They're probably going to want to keep the Dryad alive, so I would expect the Step Links to get through here if they can survive, but they might not be able to. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, if they block the Links, down to 4. See what they want to do. But this is exactly what the deck is built to do. Like, you just attack for a shitload. Next turn we can fetch Shock again, at least to pump up the Step Links. We don't need to... Okay, opponent goes down to 2, and to be fair, they could just combo off here. They've got the extra land drop. They're going to go get their... shit, I can never remember the name of the card. Amulet of Vigor. Thank you very much. So it's very possible our opponent just untaps here and kills us. Maybe he's going to get Primeval Titan, get Radiant Fountain or something. Okay, our opponent's going for Explore. This is essentially free. Is they have no bounce land because they generate 2 mana from the bounce land anyway. Yeah, so they basically don't have to pay for that. Because the land drop, it pays for its mana cost. Opponent's been thinking for a while now. which to me suggests they've got something. Ah, they've drawn the Stronghold. Okay, so, oh, I just give 3 something else, pretending we have anything, obviously don't. So now they go get the Boris one, the Boris Guild. What do you call these things? The Boris Bounce Land. They can give this Vigilance and Haste, making it 8. Trigger, then go get the Double Strike one. Oh, they're going for Radiant Fountain. Okay, so they actually don't have the combo. I'm not quite sure why, because they can give this Haste. Do they just not play the Double Strike one anymore? It gives Vigilance, so they're going to at least attack, they might as well. But it doesn't look like they're going to go for the combo. They might just try and get like a more value from like a Radiant Fountain or something. Yeah, they can play Radiant Fountain a couple of times by the look of it. So they can swing in for 8, trigger the Prime Time. If they manage to get enough mana to get Double Strike, that's obviously just lethal. Oh, well, they're attacking with the Dryad, so that to me suggests they do have lethal. Valakut. Shit, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that looks like it's lethal. So that was like what, turn 3 by our opponent. Really, really well played by them. Obviously we are dead. Just shows you the power of Amulet Titan. That they managed to do that. We do not want any of our sideboard cards. We're just going to go straight back into it. Yeah, we offered up turn 4 lethal, and they showed us up just by playing turn 3 lethal. Had a bit of math to do though. I'm surprised they didn't go for the Double Strike. Maybe the Amulet Titans don't play the Double Strike land anymore. Don't know why they wouldn't. So what's our opponent going to be boarding in? Don't think there's actually that much that Amulet normally boards in, because their deck relies so much on their combo pieces as well. Let me just get up a list on the side just so we can see what Amulet sideboards tend to look like. Amulet Titan, here we are. Sideboard is 2 Boseijus, 1 Engineered Explosive, so that will be coming in, assuming they have it. Possibly a Dismember. And that looks about it, really. We definitely want to go first again. What have we got here? A really strong turn 2, but unfortunately no 1-drop. That's fine, you can't have everything. So we're going to go turn 2, we can go Hidden Herbalist, into Burning Tree, into Manamorphose, into Bushwhacker. And in that time we'll also draw 2 cards, one from the Manamorphose and one from our drawn turn 2. So we could draw another Hidden Herbalist or Burning Tree, and that could make things ridiculous. So we'll just go ahead, play the Arid Mesa, and pass. It's a shame we don't have a 1-drop, but can't be too greedy, right? We've got a great hand. We'll get the Stomping Ground, I guess. It's very unusual for us not to have a 1-drop. Oh, and we've drawn the second Bushwhacker. So now if we draw another land, we can turn 3 Devastating Summons. So we could go turn 3 Devastating Summons, sacrifice all 3 lands, make 2 3/3s, cast Bushwhacker, give those haste, and you'd be attacking with 2 4/3s and a 2/1. Again, it doesn't really matter. We will go for red just because we generally want to keep that for the other Bushwhacker. So we'll go green and anything. Play the Herbalist, trigger Revolt. Into... I think we want to Manamorphose first, in case we hit another Herbalist. Because if we go... I didn't mean to press that, but fortunately it didn't matter. Okay, so we'll cast another one. Choosing 1 red and 1 green, and another Manamorphose. Shame we didn't have a Swiss Spear on turn 1. That would have been sweet. Red and green, and another Bushwhacker. Okay, we are Bushwhacker flooded. As long as we can draw a land next turn, I think we're going to be in a really good spot. So we're attacking here for 8 on turn 2. And the good thing about these creatures that we've played over the landfall creatures is they don't rely on land drops to give them power. A lot of our 1-drops, if you don't play lands, they don't actually hit for anything, whereas these ones fortunately do. The opponent is just playing a bounce land and passing. That is probably going to be too slow. And we draw the land. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is just lethal. Yeah, that's going to be easily lethal, right? So we'll go get the mountain, float 3 red, cast Devastating Summons. Oh my god. Sacrificing all 3 lands. This is why I love playing Devastating Summons. Select. Surge. And yeah, our opponent is easily dead here. How much do we hit them for? Down to -7. See, there you go. That is how you kill someone on turn 3 with a zoo deck. And let's go to game 3. So our opponent obviously had a very slow starting hand. I don't know if they mulliganed or not. I didn't really see. What have we got here? Ooh, 1 land. No, there's no reason to keep this. Our deck can do way better than that. Oh dear, another 1 lander. If we rip 2 lands in a row, we can go turn 1 Hellhound, turn 2 Burning Tree into Nacatl Hellhound, and then as long as we draw another land after that. Oh, this hand is terrible because the Nacatl was a 1/1. I think we just have to keep this and hope we draw a land because we're not going to win on 5 cards. Yeah, we'll put back an Atarka's Command and just hope we draw lands, I think. Well, I guess we could put back a Hellhound. And if we don't draw, even if we just draw 1 land, we can just Atarka's Command to Anthem our creatures. No, we'll put back an Atarka's Command. At least we can then play things if we don't draw lands. But I'm pretty sure our opponent has got this, just this hand is not functional. This is the reason that this deck is not great. It's because the mulligans are just so rough. And we draw a Goblin Guide. Well, the Goblin Guide doesn't actually do anything because they have an Arboreal Grazer, so we might as well just play a Hellhound. If we draw a fetch next turn, we can attack with it. Sure. So we just yield through, let our opponent do whatever they want to do. Maybe playing... Well, it's not going to be an Explorer, is it? They named Beast. What are they naming Beast for? I'm just going to check what cards are actually Beast. Arboreal Grazer. And the Cultivator Colossus. So they must have a Cultivator in hand, or they kept a really dodgy hand. I guess, maybe, no, you can just bounce it, right? Yeah, fair enough. Another Burning Tree is fine. Do we just play the other Hellhound? I guess so. And again, we're just looking for lands. If we can draw a land, we can go Burning Tree, Wild Nacatl, Goblin Guide, and then the next turn go Atarka's Command. So we're going to have to somehow survive 2 more turns, which seems seems unlikely with a Amulet of Vigor in play. Play Sanctuary. You want to 5 play Razor, play this. Yep. And then play I think. Alright. Probably Eager Haste. Yep. And then 2 more lands, so I'm not sure they'll be. Then we attack for 8, if you get that land. I'm pretty sure it's and Life Injury and a Stage. I see the this is up. Yeah, I was looking at. So the Eagle Strike was really good for us. I think I was very well played. I think really to try and play safe as possible. Because then we're pretty much about all day. There's some mention about Life Injury, maybe we try to trade the zone. But he's nothing for that right now. I'm going to use this and go boots, and try to that instead. Well, that's yeah, there's nothing we can do. We'll just concede and go on to the next one. As I said, it's probably going to be a pretty quick league. So we're sadly on the draw this time, but we've got turn 1 Goblin Guide into turn 2 Burning Tree and Hidden Herbalist. We obviously can't cast the Bushwhacker just as of yet, but we can still add a bunch of power to the board. Opponent goes Fetch, Shock. Okay. What are you following up with? Oh, Thoughtseize. Sure. Well, they can see our hand. I don't know what they're going to take. Maybe just the Goblin Guide? Yeah, they're just going to take the Goblin Guide. Okay, that's fair. Oh, we drew Manamorphose. Probably the best draw we could have had. because now we can go Burning Tree, Hidden Herbalist, Manamorphose into Bushwhacker. And again, as normal, if we draw any more of the either of these, we can just slam them as well. Hopefully our opponent has no more discard. Oh, they're just going to dash. Okay. Well, I'm going to fetch straight away because I want to hit our lands, and we don't have many fetchable lands in the deck. So we'll go ahead and get the Stomping Ground, because that is the most important one. Opponent's going to hit us, get their little treasure token, and what are they going to steal from us? That's the worrying part. Oh my god! They hit our Devastating Summons. That would have been such a cool draw as well for turn 3. Well, they're not going to be casting that anytime soon. Tarka's Command, that's a pretty good draw. So we'll go fetch, shock. Does it matter? I don't think so, but we'll get Sacred Foundry. Again, we want to prioritize red for the Bushwhackers. Oh, we're going to need green for that. There we go, so trigger a Revolt. And we're going to have to go Burning Tree into Manamorphose this time instead of doing it the way around, because we need to obviously get the double red. Cast this using both our mana and choose red, red. We hit another Herbalist, we'll have to do that next turn. But we're attacking him for a big old chunk of damage here. Our opponent's already taken a lot from them, from their own lands and Thoughtseize as well, so things are looking pretty good. Next turn, Tarka's Command just seems great. We can go Hidden Herbalist into Tarka's Command as well, just to add another body to the board. Opponent down to 7. They have got a treasure token, so they're a little bit ahead on mana. But if they have another land drop, it's probably going to be a shock land or a fetch land. These decks tend to play lots of fetches and shocks and not many basics. So hopefully they are at least restricted on their mana. So they're going to just hard cast the Ragavan, keep it back as a blocker, that's fine. They're just going to ship the turn back. They're thinking about it. Going to end step. Okay, cool. So untap, and what are we going to get? Another Burning Tree. Sure, so we go play the Heath, fetch. Temple Garden. There's no reason to pay, so no. Red, green. Play the Herbalist here. We'll get 2 mana. We'll then cast the Burning Tree. We might as well just play these, so then next turn they can attack. You don't have to like Bushwhacker them into play. So we get the 2 mana, and then we're just gonna deal 3 damage, wherever it is. Here we go. Deal 3 damage to each opponent and creatures you control get +1/+1. So hit our opponent down to 4, assuming this resolves. It could possibly not if they're playing Grixis. They've got the treasure token available. Okay, so they're going to have at least 1 piece of removal here. It's going to be pretty tricky for them to get out of this, especially as they're not hitting their land drops. Oh, Terminate. Okay. So now they're going to trade their Ragavan in for our Bushwhacker. And now we've still got 3 creatures on board, all of which are lethal. And our opponent has been missing, or has missed their land drops. Nice Bloodstained Mire there on 1 life. Sweet. On to sideboarding. In this matchup, we probably do want the Veil of Summers. What do we not want? If the game's going to go on longer, then I don't really want Step Links. But I think we do need the turn 1 plays. This is the problem with the deck. It's just so hard to board stuff out. Yeah, I think it is Tarka's Commands. Maybe we'll just bring in 3. Yeah, we'll run that. I'm not sure if it's correct to take out Atarka's Command. It feels like such a powerful card, especially giving you reach towards the end of the game. But the upside of Veil of Summers is just so good. Yeah, this hand is great. So we go turn 1 Goblin Guide, turn 2 Herbalist, Bush, Burning Tree, and if we can somehow draw something to do with the mana, that'd be even sicker. So yeah, we'll definitely keep this. We're just going to go turn 1 Mountain. We'll need to keep the Arid Mesa for the Revolt triggers, and obviously we can't play Temple Guard into Goblin Guide. So opponent is turn 1 Ragavan. That's a pretty good start for them. What do we draw into? Hellhound. Probably is better to play the Hellhound here, I think. Because next turn it can attack for 4. And the Goblin Guide also has haste, so we can always use it later on when we've got more mana. You can also just use it off the Burning Tree, whereas the Hellhound wouldn't be as good off the Burning Tree. So opponent probably going to attack here, get their treasure token. Just really hope they don't have an Inquisition. Things like Inquisition are the thing that hurts this deck the most. Because if they did, they could Inquisition, take away the Burning Tree, and then we would just have essentially 2 1-mana 2/2s. Because that's all we would do. Spend 2 mana, get 2 2/2s. And I know I say it in every video, but I apologise if you guys can hear any sort of fan in the background. It's really hot here in the UK. Yeah. Oh, they're going to grief us. So it's pitch a black card, and then they can choose a card from our hand, which isn't a land. It's basically a Thoughtseize. But it doesn't cost any life, it just costs them a card. What did they exile? Another one? Okay. Oh, nice. So they're going to bring back their grief here, and here we go, and they're going to hit another card off us. That's pretty bad for us. I don't know if we can come back from losing 2 cards there. And they play a land. Well, they are down to just 2 cards now. We draw Step Links. I think we're just gonna... Oh, this is not a good spot to be in. We can just shock, play the Step Links, play the Goblin Guide, attack with both, and then next turn fetch, and then pump up both of my landfall creatures. This was one of the reasons why I don't really like Step Links in this list, because you can't Burning Tree into it, whereas Wild Nakato you can. But having 4 power on a creature is so much better than 3. We're going to do it this way. Play the Step Links. The only way this really gets punished is if we draw another fetch land. Opponent gets a free Polluted Delta. So they have got a Grief in play, which is a 4/3. Like, we may be pretty much out of gas, but our opponent hasn't got a way to kill us very quickly, so we can just, you know, accumulate quite a few cards. Oh, they're just going to flat out race us. Yeah, we're fine with that. They know that we're pretty much out, and they hit they hit our Bushwhacker. Are they going to do it? Probably not. They could just play it as a 1/1 if they want a blocker. Three mana and a treasure. They hardcast a Fury. Well, let's let's just go to the next game. I'm about with that. Maybe we don't want... Do we want Veil of Summer? I really can't tell. Especially if they've got hand disruption as well. It does seem good. I think we do want Veil of Summers. Yeah, there's nothing here I want to cut. We're just going to run it back. We're on the play. What have we got? Oh, this hand does not do a lot. We're going to have to mulligan that, because if we get like... Oh, God. Well, this hand isn't winning any games, so we're just going to go down again. Sure, I think this is still better. What we got? Turn 1, we can play a Hellhound. Turn 2, fetch, shock, Ragavan and a Lynx. So we get rid of the Lynx and the Manamorphose. Maybe we just get rid of 2 of the Lynx, because we don't have land drops to follow up with. Yeah. So we're just going to go turn 1 Hellhound, turn 2 Manamorphose, and either dash or hardcast Ragavan, depending on what happens. But I don't think I don't think we have enough cards here to beat our opponent. But we'll give it a go. Like I said, this deck is really, really fast, but it's so inconsistent. The games that you win just feel like complete... I swear to God, if they just do this again, it's obviously just game over, but if they do the whole flicker it... We could have brought in Leyline in the Void for this combo, but I don't think it's worth it. Oh, yeah, sure. Alright, you got me. Okay, round 3, and we are on the play. What have we got here? Turn 1 Step Links, turn 2 Burning Tree Bushwhacker, turn 3... Yeah, this hand looks sick, we'll keep this. We could play the Wild Knockout instead of the Step Links, but I think you're better off playing the Step Links. The Inquisitioness. All these discard cards. People just don't want to have fun on what is this even called? Magic Online today. They take Tarkus Command? What? I guess. They not seen what our hand does? Burning Tree into Bushwhacker. Yeah, we need the Sacred Foundry for the Wild Nacatl. And then we can just use the Stomping Ground to play the Wild Nacatl next turn anyway. So we're going to Burning Tree here, get the mana, Surge the Bushwhacker. And now we're attacking for 10 on turn 2. So our opponent is going to need to have like Bolt or Fatal Push or something. So they're Jund. Turn 2 they are going to play a Tarmogoyf. That is a reasonably statted creature for 2 mana, but we also have some reasonably statted creatures. I think what we want to do is shock first, then we can go use this to for Wild Nacatl mana, and then if we don't draw anything, we can use the other leftover mana to sacrifice this. So we want red and green. We draw Ragavan. Okay, so we cast this and we dash the Ragavan. Attack our opponent with everything. They probably should block the Lynx here, or the Ragavan. don't think it makes much difference at this point. We're attacking for so much next turn. They're going to need like some sort of removal spell at life gain to be able to survive. Opponent's got a nice big Tarmogoyf, being a 4/5, but being on 2 life this early is probably just more than they can handle. What's our opponent going to think? We can also, if we draw nothing, we can just sack this and try and find something else for 1 mana. Opponent is in the tank trying to figure out how the hell to survive. So you have to assume that we don't draw a land, because if we draw a land, I don't think there's just any combination of cards that they could have main deck to win. But if we whiff and don't draw a land, okay, yeah. So they're going to use this, probably minus kill the Lynx or the Bushwhacker. Yeah, they've just gone down the route of if we draw a land, then they lose, probably. So now they must have something else. They still have nothing. Okay. Do we want Leyline in the Void against them? Probably not. So it hits Tarmogoyf and Renin 6, so they can't get lands back, but that's about it. I don't think it's worth it. We'll bring in the Veil of Summers again because they are Jund. What do we not want against Jund? All of these look great. I don't mind actually taking out Step Links because we can't Burning Tree into it. It's a 1-drop that we need to keep drawing lands, so when you get to the later game, it just doesn't attack on its own. We need to cut a card. Let's just go with Summons, maybe. Yeah, we'll go with that. Opponent's on the play here, so what have we got? We can go turn 1 Wild Nacatl, turn 2 Herbalist, Burning Tree, dash Ragavan. Oh yeah, we'll keep this. Absolutely, we will keep this. Opponent just plays a Blooming Marsh. Sure. We draw a land. Doesn't matter which land we use. We use the Foothills. Go get a Stomping Ground here. We'll play our Wild Nacatl. I assume this is going to get Fatal Pushed or something here. Yep. That's fine. To be expected. Okay, so Crackfoot and Catacombs. Maybe play a Goyf or something. Oh, they're fetch and shocking. Red and green for Renin 6. Sure. Luckily that doesn't kill our creatures because Ragavan's going to get dashed anyway. Didn't want to draw another land, but that's okay. We will get the Sacred Foundry. Yeah. So go Hidden Herbalist here. Into another one. And then, just for good measure, we'll play a Burning Tree. And always yield. And dash. We're going to just go straight to the Dome. I'm not going to even bother with Renin 6. They can't ping the Ragavan because it's going to get bounced anyway. And it'd be nice if we could get like a bolt or something off this Ragavan. Blood Crypt. Damn it. Yeah, we just pass the turn back. So now they know that we've got the Ragavan, they're probably going to want to... Oh, they're just going to do it straight away. Kill 2 of our creatures. I swear to God, if they have that flicker 1 mana instant like the last game did, I'm going to be pissed. 2 mana. What have they got for 2 black? Maybe that creature's got like protection from... Sure. Give a creature -2/-2. Drain us. And I think they did the... Pretty sure they did the take an instant on sorcery as well. But we didn't have one. So our opponent's down to 1 card in hand. So that's good news for us. I think we just go... We might as well play a land. They know what we've got. Oh yeah, we might as well fetch actually because we're going to need 2 mana. And there's no reason to use the treasure token. Doesn't matter which one. No, we'll get the mountain. Try and preserve our life total. So if they don't have instant speed removal, this Ragavan can just keep getting in. Obviously they can keep accumulating lands, but I'm not too worried about that. Inquisition. Yeah, we'll cast an Inquisition on our opponent. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, they got rid of the Inquisition. They didn't want us to have that. Fair enough. Yeah, we'll just pass the turn. Ragavan comes back to hand. So yeah, they fetched with the Goblin Guide trigger. So they knew that we were going to draw, or we were going to get Inquisition from the Ragavan, and they didn't want us to have that. So I'm not sure exactly what our opponent has. Oh, 3 mana into... Very good draw for our opponent there. What are they pitching? Sure. They're going to get the Catacombs back here. I think Pyromancer was sort of a really good draw for our opponent. That's unfortunate. Hellhound. Well, that doesn't do anything because of the Renin 6. I think we're just going to pass the turn, and we're going to have to try somehow to use like a Bushwhacker and maybe Devastating Summons or something all on the same turn, because we have a little bit of gas left, but not a lot when they've got Renin 6 that can ping these down. And yeah, we could have tried to kill this, but our opponent would be at so much more life that we'd never be able to beat them anyway. I think in this matchup you do just have to ignore the Renin 6, unfortunately. Hard to ignore now that they can ultimate it. Opponent's got 5 mana. Hardcast Fury. Yeah, alright. We'll go to the next one. We're not getting through all that. We could have cast all 3. Fetched. No, I can't see that. Like, we're still not going to get through. I think on the play we want to just have everything. I think. Because we need to just be more aggressive than our opponent. And we need to just get shit on the board. Yeah. Yes, we definitely want to go first. So we can go turn 1, just cast a normal Bushwhacker, turn 2 Hidden Herbalist, Manamorphose it into the second Bushwhacker, or we can keep the second one for turn 3. This hand is really not great. I think we'll still have to keep it though. I think we're better off keeping the Bushwhacker instead of trying to use it early to get the second, to get the effect off the second one. Inquisition, sure. I think they should either take a Bushwhacker or maybe the Manamorphose. I think I'd probably be inclined to take the Manamorphose because it's a card, but also helps us curve out. Oh, okay, just take the Herbalist, that works too. Sorry, opponent. You can't Thoughtseize the top of your opponent's deck. So we'll get the red-green mana. Cast our Manamorphose, and we can attack for 4 at least here. Yeah, cast with Kicker. We get punished for having a non-red land, unfortunately, because we can't Ragavan and Bushwhacker next turn. Maybe we'll draw another creature that we can use. So our opponent's down to 13 already. They go Blooming Marsh, yeah. And of course they evoke a Fury here. Pitching Terminate. Kill both of our creatures. That's pretty pretty bad for us. And then they're going to pay 2 mana to play a Tarmogoyf. Yeah. Burning Tree. So what we can... Burning Tree... No, that means we can do all 3. No, it doesn't. How do we win at this point? We got... Our opponent's Inquisition, so they've seen the Foothills, the Bushwhacker, but they don't know about these 2. We could just hardcast this. And then play the Foothills and pass. It would have been more mana efficient to fetch Shock and then crack this with the other mana. But we actually kind of want the 3rd mana, or the 3rd land for now. But I've got 3 cards in hand, so... Oh, they're getting aggressive, just swinging with a Goyf. They must be pretty confident. Fetching during damage... Oh, just to pump it up. Yep. What the fuck are they doing for 3 mana during damage? K-Command? Really trying to pump up that Goyf. I guess we get rid of the Burning Tree. So Devastating Summons off the top is by far our best draw. Not even close. Sure. Devastating Summons? No. Well, we can still do both. Then use the red and Kicker. Get in for 4. Oh, sorry, 5. Puts our opponent to 7, but we're pretty much out of anything at this point. Oh, they've got Bolt as well. This is probably the worst matchup for the deck. They've just got so much interaction. Like, Fury just completely kills this deck. I think that was one of the reasons why I stopped playing this deck, was the Modern Masters set. Just pretty much made it impossible. If your opponent plays Fury, you can't get ahead on board with these kind of creatures. Maybe if you play like Wild Nakattles and Curd Apes, maybe that would be the better way to go. But Fury doesn't see too much play at the moment, which is good. We'll crack this. And another Hellhound. We'll play a land and, a creature and pass. If they attack with both, we have to chump one. What have they got? Oh, that is just lethal. Or this hand, we've got only one land. We'll see what happens. This has the potential to be a really, really explosive hand. Actually, maybe we play the step links on turn 1 and we just go all in on just drawing the land. Oh, is our opponent on burn? Not many decks play Wooded Foothills into a basic mountain. Riftbolt. Okay, so we're against burn. We draw a Ragavan. Okay, so we're going to use this, get a Sacred Foundry. And we are going to play a Ragavan because not all burn players will kill this on site, and if they don't kill it on site, it could give us some mana that we need. They should use this Riftbolt unless they've got a Searing Blaze on the Ragavan. They're just choosing not to. Oh my god. Is this Ragavan going to stay alive? They must have Searing Blaze. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Step links, not ideal. Well, we'll play the Goblin Guide. At least get him for some damage. And we give them a land as well. Oh dear. I think it was worth keeping this hand because if if we draw the second land, the hand is really explosive. If they have another Searing Blaze, this is just over. Searing Blaze is like the best card in the deck when you... Oh dear. Alright, we'll just go to the next one. Let's not even bother worrying about that. This doesn't work, and this does nothing, so let's just send it back. We definitely want to be on the play. What have we got here? Turn 1 Ragavan, turn 2 Herbalist, potentially into a Bushwhacker if we draw a Manamorphose. If not, it's just 2 creatures, which is fine. We'll keep this. So we'll go ahead here, shock, and cast a Ragavan. We're going to next turn use Wooded Foothills just to fetch a mountain, try and preserve our life total, at least a little bit. Opponent's going to shock here into nothing. Okay, so they're just keeping up Bolt then. What do we want to do? I think we attack with the Ragavan first because I'm pretty sure they're going to bolt it. That means we can then trigger a Revolt without having to use our fetch. And ideally we'll keep the fetch around for the Hellhound. Yeah. There's nothing instant speed in the deck that's 1 mana other than Bolt or Path. Okay, yep, so they bolt that, which now means we have Revolt, so we go Temple Garden. We'll pay the 2. Play Hidden Herbalist, always yield, into the second one. And then next turn... Oh, we still can't do it because we don't have double red. We need to draw Manamorphose to be able to do anything if we want to double spell. If we had used the Wooded Foothills and got a mountain, then potentially if we drew an untapped red source, we could double spell. Okay, so our opponent is just absolutely going for it, but we do have more of a consistent clock. Okay, this was a good draw. So we can go step links off this, and then we can go fetch a mountain and just attack for a shitload here. So play this, trigger, go fetch the mountain. And now our opponent basically has to untap and kill us. They can't Eidolon because we're ahead on board, but if they just have another land, they could just go 3, 6, 9. If they have things like Boros Charm, that's not going to be enough. Okay, they've got the mountain. So do they have the 3/1 mana burn spells? They've already used Bolt, Spike, and Skewer, so I'm going to say probably not. Oh my god, are they actually going to do it? No. Okay. Sweet, that should just be game then, right? They block this, take 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that is game, right? Cast this, surge this, go down to 2, but we attack with everything. The only way they could win is if they like evoked a Fury, which obviously Burn is not playing. Sweet. On to sideboarding for game 3. We are not changing a thing. We're just going to send it. I guess in our board we could have some Path to Exiles. Not for this matchup, but that could be an option. Or maybe No, I don't even think we want Dragon's Claw. We can't keep a 4-land hand. I guess we'll keep this. Put back a land, doesn't matter which one. Not really. So we've got turn 1 Hellhound, turn 2 Herbalist, Burning Tree, hopefully something. Well, what are we going to draw? Bushwhacker. It's not the Reckless one, which is the one we could surge into. Hellhound. Pass the turn back. If we can draw Manamorphose or a Reckless Bushwhacker, we can do a shitload of damage next turn. See what we're going to draw though. Goblin Guide, okay. At least it's something to do with the red mana from the Burning Tree. Please don't cast an Eidolon, thank god. They didn't kill this, which to me suggests they have Boros Charm. Because if you were going to bolt this, you'd have to do it in response to the landfall trigger, because now if they bolt it, we can just fetch in response. So they don't have bolt, I'm pretty sure they don't. Or if they do, they didn't play that very well. So if they're going to Boros Charm us down to 12, attack us there down to 10, then they can't next turn kill us. If we fetch Shock, that would then put us next turn down to 10. Sorry, 10 down to 7, which means then we could easily die. I think... Shit, what do we want to do here? Okay. I don't think there's really much we can do. We're going to fetch Shock, unfortunately. Oh, they're just going to bolt it in response now. I mean, you can do that if you want. Oh, they're going to Searing Blaze it? Helix it. Oh, that's nice. So then we can go green, red, play the Herbalist, get 2 green mana, turn that into 1 red and 1 green. And then cast the Goblin Guide. There we go. I don't actually think you should be playing Helix and Burn anymore. I think it should just be Skullcracks. And then, yeah, like you've got the 4 color decks which you've got Omnath, which you need Skullcrack for. And the decks where you want Lightning Helix, your opponent is probably playing Ragavan. And if they're playing Ragavan and they hit you and they get Helix off you, you basically just lose. So personally, I think you're better off playing Skullcracks and just not playing Helix. That's pretty good. We can do both. Opponents on 3 cards, they can end a turn, Boros, Charm, or Helix us. We go down to 7 and it's pretty easy for us to die after that. I'd rather not pay 3 life to get this in for 3 extra damage. So I think we're just gonna play that. And just can't surge or kick this. Yeah, we can't afford to fetch shock. Three, 6, 9, 10, 11. If we attack with everything, then they can attack us back, putting us down to 8. We're probably dead if we do that. So we're going to swing in with 3. Okay, so they got Swift Spear coming up off the top. Oh, they're trading. That's really good for us. In fact, maybe it would have been better just to play the Burning Tree there and keep the Bushwhacker. Yeah, they do Boros Charm us, so they're going to need to have the 2 cards in their hand to be burn spells for us to die. Okay, so we're not dead this turn. Why are you not playing the Swift Spear? That doesn't make any sense. Very strange. Well, they got fucking like Browbeat or something in their hand. So we're attacking our opponent here for 5, putting them to 7. We reveal an Eidolon, so they're going to have to fetch to get rid of that. There's no way they can beat us if they draw the Eidolon. Personally, I think their best option was to fetch in response to the Goblin Guide trigger, because then we show the top card of their deck. If it's a land, they know that they then don't draw that land. Whereas now they know what it is. If they fetch, they've lost the advantage or the potential card advantage from Goblin Guide. And I don't mean drawing the land, I mean not drawing a land that next turn. The extra land is neither here nor there. It's knowing that there's 1 less land off the top of your deck. Red and green, play this. I don't think I articulated that very well, but basically, if you don't want to draw a land next turn and your opponent's got Goblin Guide, make sure that it resolves on the card you're going to draw next turn. Yeah, so they get rid of the Eidolon. So we know that their hand is Swift Spear, a random card. Oh, okay. I forgot that that was even a card. And they play a Swift Spear. We might as well end of turn fetch to try and, in case we need the land, I guess, but more so that we just don't draw more land, and 6 and 5 is the same thing. Pretty much. Okay, well that's a good blocker. We're just going to swing with everything, and then we've got the Herbalist to block with. What are they getting? Bolt. Okay. That's going to make things difficult. So all they've got to do is survive. Now we play our creature, and as long as the other card in their hand isn't a spell, then we should be fine. It all depends on what the other card was. Well, we have to block. Obviously, we know they've got Bolt, and we somehow beat Burn of all the decks. I thought that'd be one of our worst matchups because we just fetch Shock every turn. Okay, well, great that we finally managed to scratch a win. On to the next one. For the last round, we are on the draw. We've got 2 landfall creatures. Yeah, this hand looks great. We'll keep this. So we can go turn 1 Step Links, turn 2 Hidden Herbalist, Manamorphose, Bushwhacker. That sounds great. Oh, a Ragavan. Well, it doesn't change what we can do, so we have to play the Temple Garden on turn 1 to enable Hidden Herbalist on turn 2. And this also does give the most power. Opponent turn 1's Consider. Yep. Oh, they are on Living End by the look of it. Street Wraith goes to the bin. Oh, I guess it could just be like Grixis or something. Grixis, like Ragavans and Death Shadows. What the fuck? Wishclaw Talisman. I do not know what that suggests. Unless they're on some sort of like combo deck. Stomping Ground, I guess. Yeah, we'll pay the 2. Green, and it doesn't matter. Go Hidden Herbalist, take the mana. Oh shit, I don't think we actually want a Manamorphose. Because we don't have the mana for Bushwhacker. And if we want to search this one, yeah, we have to actually. I think we want to use this Bushwhacker. Wait, what the fuck? Why did it give us 1 red, 1 green? I must have misclicked. That's okay, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it fucks up our next turn, but we wanted to do this, so then next turn we could have gone play a 1-drop and Surge, because this is a pretty dead land for us. That's really annoying, actually. Okay, it doesn't matter. Our opponent's down to 4 and they just concede on turn 3. No idea what our opponent is doing. Do we just bring in Leyline of the Void because they're doing shenanigans? Possibly, but I'm not going to bother. They might not actually be doing anything with the graveyard. They might just be using Street Wraith as a draw and Consider just as a good card to go for your deck. Opponent having a good old think about their opening hand. Ooh, 4 lands is not the one. Nor is 1. Fuck's sake, we'll keep. And we'll put back... What do we put back? A Step Links? Yeah. Mishra's Bauble. Who are they targeting with that? I don't know how you see. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Show game log. Okay, so they know what we're going to draw. What did they get to see of ours? A bushwhacker. Okay. I guess we should play the Hellhound, because that way if we draw the Temple Garden we can still double spell next turn. We've got Manamorphose, so we could anyway. No, we'll play... I'm just going to assume that we are going to draw very, very well, because if we don't, I don't think we can kill them anyway. So we're going to play the Hellhound, and next time we're just going to draw Fetch Land. I'm not even going to worry about it. That's just... If we're going to win this game, I'm pretty sure we're going to need to draw Fetch Land. Like, why be good when you can just be lucky, you know? And Fetch Land? See? The game is easier when you just draw the cards you want. Do we just play 2 creatures or do we bushwhacker? I think we play 2 creatures. So we go white for the links, red for the guide, and again we want to keep the Manamorphose for the bushwhacker because it allows you to surge without actually having a 3rd spell to cast. Sorry, a 3rd land. Otherworldly Gaze. So let's look at the top 3 cards, put any of them into your graveyard, and put the rest on top of your deck in any order. Ah, they're Lotus Field. So now they're going to Hidden Strings, or Twiddle. Underworld Breach. Okay, so we do need Leyline of the Void then. So our opponent's got 2 Twiddles in the graveyard. Do they have any card advantage though? Not that I can see. The fuck is that? Oh, okay. Opponent is doing things. They've got lots of mana, but from what I can see they have no way to get card advantage. Okay, they're down to 0 cards. Oh, they wished though. They are still going. What have they done? Dream's Grip. Tap target permanent or untap target permanent, or entwine for both. Okay. They're using Bauble, which is wait, why is it still there? There we go. That's not good news for them. Why is it making all the cards big? There we go. What have they got for 3 mana? Grape Shot for 14. And then that one is the 15th one. Fair play. So they must use their wish board to go get the actual Grape Shot. Okay, well now we know what our opponent is doing. We want to bring in those. Grape Shot doesn't get stopped by this. Probably not going to need extra reach for the Tarkus command. And one more card. Summons maybe? Yeah, we'll go with that. It means that the Void is a terrible top deck, but it is really good in your opening hand against our opponent. And also it doesn't use any mana of ours, which obviously we want. We definitely want to go first. Leyline of the Void, we've got turn 1 Ragavan or turn 1 Hellhound. Yeah, I think this hand is fine. We'll probably just turn 1 Hellhound because it offers the most damage. Although Leyline will slow them down, they will still be able to wish for an answer for Void. So it's not like if we get it, we just win. It will slow our opponent down. Like all these graveyard hate cards like Rest in Peace and Leyline, they tend not to beat your opponent. They tend to slow them down enough so that you can try and kill them. So just go turn 1, fetch, shock. Doesn't matter what we get. We get Stomping Ground. Definitely want to pay the 2. Play a Hellhound. Next turn we can attack for 4, and we might just dash the Ragavan depending on what we get. Opponent goes for Delta. What are they going to do? Into Void Snare. So they straight away had an answer for the Leyline of the Void. Well, we'll play this, trigger the landfall. We can go ahead, fetch, Sacred Foundry, shock. Get 2 more, trigger the Revolt on our Herbalist. And then we're going to use that for Manamorphose. Shit. Okay, there we go. Red in case we draw a Bushwhacker. I guess we'll dash this. We can use the tokens that this generates to try and cast another Leyline, but it's pretty hard to pull off. You also can use Manamorphose to fix your mana and try and do that way and use that to produce black. Oh my god, we will absolutely play a free Mishra's Bauble. That just doesn't seem fair. What do you got coming up next? Consider. Okay. Yeah, we just need 1 more treasure token. And then we can cast another Leyline, which feels really unfair. Ragavan is such a weird card. Oh, have they not got a land drop? Oh dear. Okay, well, we'll trigger our landfall, fetch, get another red source, and our opponent concedes. Yeah, we were just going to go Goblin Guy, dash Ragavan. We ended up, what, 2-3? Yeah. Let's go back to the deck. Okay, so that was the deck. We finished on 2-3. We managed to beat Burn and some sort of combo deck, and then we lost to everything else. Basically, I think the takeaway from this is the deck is really explosive, but the deck is very, very inconsistent, and it is also very, very easy to interrupt. Fury, you basically can't beat. That's the reason that I tend to not play this in anything competitive. It's great for, like, I don't know, Friday Night Magic if you want to just go have fun, or if you're just playing casually with your friends and stuff like that, or maybe you want a deck that you can play in between rounds at a comp event. You just want to like chill out with your friends and play between rounds. This is a really great deck to play in between rounds because you can play 4 or 5 games in 10 minutes. It's so quick, especially in real life where it's a lot quicker. You can take shortcuts and stuff. But do I think the deck is competitive? No, unfortunately not. I wish it was. If you want to make the deck better against Fury, you take out the Step Links and the Hellhounds, you bring in Wild Nacatls and Curd Apes. You also take out potentially even Ragavan and you put in something else with more toughness. That way they can 2-for-1 you, but not 3-for-1 you. Other than that, the deck is really, really fun. It's pretty cheap if you cut the Ragavans and you already have the fetchers, which a lot of people do these days. You don't have to worry about buying a sideboard because it doesn't really need one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the rounds. Obviously, it does suck that we we didn't do great, but that is just, you know, this isn't I've edited it and made it so that you've just seen the games that we win. This is literally how the deck plays. I think that's a very accurate representation. I've played this style of deck for a long time. As soon as Burning Tree and the Bushwhackers was a deck, I've been playing it since then. Maybe not as my main deck, but it's always been a deck that I sleeve up occasionally and play. So I think that's what you've seen is literally how the deck is expected to play out. If you want to see more videos, please feel free to subscribe. If you want to see any decks in the future, leave a comment. As I said, this is one that Loki MTG asked or said that he was going to potentially buy, so I just said, I'll show you some gameplay of it. So if you do want to see any decks in particular, I will probably play it. Thanks for watching. Also, if you want to see any TikToks on Magic, please feel free to subscribe to my TikTok, as you can see above. Thanks for watching. Peace.